G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is gonna be a very quick video on what I have for December's Collage Club printables this month. There are essentially 5 sheets, but I think in total there might be 8. I've forgotten the number, but a bunch of them are just uncolored versions. So I'll show you everything that I've got in front of me and hopefully that will explain everything. The very first thing I wanted to show you, actually, it's in my journal. Let me grab it. Here's my new little Christmas deco journal. This is what it looks like, all done, all said and done. And it's an advent calendar. So you can see all these little doors here, 1 through 25. There is an uncolored version in your Collage Club printables as well. So if you want to color it in yourself, you have that option. And then there's a colored version, which this one printed a little bit dark and I experimented with some glitter there. But it does look like this. It's a very moody kind of mint colored elves type situation. And here is what it looks like when you cut the doors out of it. Now, I wanted to show you this because when you look at this file, you do see the square boxes, and like number 8, that's really easy to see the top, the right, and the bottom hand side of the boxes. But for some of them, I've drawn over and you're gonna have to cut into the image, but you don't actually see the box. Like when you look at this, where is one of them here? This one in particular, number 17, you can't see the top and the side edge of that box very well, but if you grab a ruler and a pencil, now I freehanded mine, so that's just where I'm at in life. I have a slice tool here. It's a ceramic blade, little pen slice tool, super simple. You need to cut through the top, the side, and you can do it the other way if you want the hinges to open up from the left. But I'm gonna cut the top, the right, and the bottom hand side of the box, and you'll see you get this little flap that opens up. This is where I'm gonna do a photo a day in my journal for my Advent. Maybe it's a little bit of journaling or like a word a day with that as well. But because you can't see these, just put your ruler on the edge of the box. You can even line them up with the other boxes here. They all are matched along the bottom and on the side edge here. And you can use a light colored pencil or something that doesn't really get in the way, something you might be able to erase as well, but you will be slicing over it, so it doesn't super matter. And you can edge in that line if you need to, so that you can see where you're going to slice and it can all be very even through these images that essentially block the door. I don't really mind slicing through it all. I think it looks great. Either way, you can just leave it like this if you want. Maybe use some transparent, I have transparent post-it notes, which is always a good way to work on top of something that you want to still keep intact. But whatever you choose to do, that is the Advent that I said months ago I wanted to do, and I was so nervous I would forget to do it that I had a little reminder on my desk for months that I wanted to do it. So I'm really happy that all came together, and that you've got the option to color it in yourself. This is my original file. You can see all my red line work there. A lot of the time I'll do something in red. I'll set my layout in red, and then I'll draw over the top of it, put it back into Photoshop, take the red out, and then I'll just be left with the line work on top. It's kind of a little formatting hack. This is the second page. You can see my setup here as well. This is my original sketch. I've actually used the sketch as the line work. With this one, I cleaned up the image and I did it in Procreate, so I added really bold line work to the numbers, really bold line work to the elves, and the other stuff is kind of thinner line work. But this one I wanted to keep the original integrity of the pencil sketch, because sometimes I think that looks really nice. So if you look closely, you can see a whole pencil sketch, and then I colored it digitally. I colored all of these things digitally, I think, except for the Swatch dolls. So this is a block sheet. I think I might end up showing you what I do with these. I don't know if I'll put it on Instagram or if I'll put it in my YouTube video when I'm Christmas journaling. Essentially, these are stackable blocks. They're all exactly the same cube that has been either shrunk or stacked on top of each other, because I don't know why, but I just really wanted to stack these blocks on top of each other to create I don't know, like a little corner of like a cluster of blocks that look like Christmas blocks. And I liked that there was these kind of design motifs that were popping up, like the little Rudolph, what do you call it, collar, that little R that I put down there. I liked that the Nutcracker had this really long column up here, the pyramids of the hats. This is a Grinch. But the stacked blocks of this scarf on Frosty. This is Frosty the Snowman. That's an angel, Rudolph, an elf, Santa, Grinch, gingerbread, Nutcracker, elf, rando blocks. They're loosely inspired by things, like that's loosely inspired by a snowflake. very much closely inspired by a present. This one's a drum, a little toy drummer. So I hope you like those. They're just very, very, I don't know, geometric. They're super fun. I love the color palette. But again, I gave you a black and white version so that you could, and it's the pencil sketch one as well. It's just this cleaned up. So you can color it if you would like to team with the theme and match whatever is going on in your Chrissy journals. This one I've given to you black and white as well. Here's my original sketch. And you can see in my layouts here, this is how I kept all the stars the right sizes. This is a Christmas tree farm. It's a stackable thing as well. I don't know why I got so interactive with December's collage sheets, but I did. I guess I was just really in an interactive mood. I do love interactive elements in my journal, and I love to piece things together and play and create new things, especially with Collage Club. There's so many images that you get each month that I want to make sure that you can, I don't know, like work a bunch of them in all together so that you're not just picking out one and sticking it there and you've got 6 sheets of stuff that you won't use for 6 months. Like this, I hope it encourages you to really get every single tree off this page and into your journal. So there is a bunch you can mix and match. There's 4 big ones, 4 small ones, 4 big trunks, 4 little trunks, 4 big stars, 4 little stars. But mix and match them. You can put a big trunk on a little tree with a big star and change up those proportions. But it is just a very quirky little Christmas tree farm. My Hello Workshop students will recognize these eyes from your worksheet. Everything comes back around, doesn't it? I was actually originally inspired by a little conical illustration I did years ago. I've always loved it, and I thought, oh, I could do a Christmas version of that. And then when I did one, I thought, oh, it's like a Christmas tree. I'm going to do a whole Christmas tree farm. So that's great. I kind of love them in black and white as well, so I might cut some of these out and just use them, because my Christmas deco journal, like as much as these would just look beautiful on here, especially on, you know, a page like this, some of the patterns, like it can get really busy on things that have a lot of stuff going on color wise, or sometimes the colors clash, but something black and white, can you see how bold this looks against this very colored in page? This page I actually did with all the pencils that were the least used. I think I've still got my whole palette set up here. When I did the deco journal, it was all pencil sketches. I did them all by hand at half size. And then when I got to the end, I took all the pencils out that were the tallest because I thought they were the least used ones, since they hadn't been sharpened that much and they were still quite tall. And I did a page of kind of unwanted colors, which I thought was just interesting. Something like this, I mean, these triangles are already on here, so that'd be a great page to pop a triangle on top of, but I think black and white would work better on that, don't you think? Options. You've got options. We love options. Not all the time, but sometimes. This is a page of Christmas Swatch dolls. I was inspired by one that looked like her from years ago as well. I was really back in the archives. I've got this. I might share more about this later because this is just my author copy. This is a back catalogue, a printed, bound back catalogue of Collage Club from the very first day we started, January 2021, all the way up until, I think it goes up to June this year. Yeah. So now that this year is finished, I will be updating this and then putting it out available, I think, just for regular sale. Always got to preface this, there's no reason you need this. I need it because I need to quickly reference things, and for December, like I was just looking through here being re-inspired by things I've loved before. So this is a great resource for me. However, this is not a coffee table book. The print quality is, you know, like Amazon's direct publishing print quality. Oh look, here she is. This is what inspired these. I did a version of her with my I would say some more of my refined skills. I think I've worked on my illustrations a lot since here, and I have to say I'm a little bit confused as to whether I really liked the naivete of this, or if I appreciate some of the skill that I can see I've worked into this. I think they both exist in a great place, but this is so much smoother. I have so much more control. I think the proportions I've moved towards something I like more, but there's something so naive about this face that I think looks quirkier and I think looks a little bit more, I don't know. This one seems to still be a little bit more appealing to me, even though these are technically better drawings. That's why I always say there's something so fascinating about sketching and your journey. You know, just because you have more skill or you spend more time on something doesn't necessarily make it a better result. Sometimes there is a lot to be said for, you know, just a naive sketch. So I don't know. I do love these, but I still think I love the original the most. But I did a whole page inspired by those, and then I filled a lot of the negative space with these ribbons. I really want to encourage you to, again, mix and match a whole bunch of this stuff together. So pop, her down, and then pop a whole bunch of the ribbons all over her antlers. I've got these kiss cut from my Silhouette Portrait 3, so these are essentially just stickers now, which is great because I wouldn't want to have to fuss about with cutting out all of these little stems. Put a Silhouette Portrait 3 on your wish list if that's something, well, the Thanksgiving Day sales are over now, but if that's something that you're kind of coveting, I have never regretted it. Since the day I got it, and it's still going strong, touch wood. It is a great little machine to use, especially if you're someone that wants to use a lot of ephemera and have a lot of decoration in your journal and you're a part of Collage Club. I always give you whatever files I make. They're not guaranteed, but I think I've given them every month. So that's just something really good to invest in if you want to work the way that I work, I guess. If you do. If you don't worry about it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about this. This is probably going to be very expensive, and it's not a hardbound book or anything, and I'm not really super vouching for the print quality here. It's a very standard print quality. So those are just my little disclaimers about that. If I do make a video about it, I will share more about that. It is a resource for me, but some people have expressed interest in purchasing one for themselves. For whatever reason people might want them. Since I can make it available, I probably will. So I'll let you know. It's the same place that I get these from, the deco journals. But the deco journals I work on top of. So if there's a little bit of a slight little printing variation here and there, it doesn't matter. But when you want a whole book of stuff, like if you're really trying to reference this, it's good enough for me. I mean, it's not even bad. It's just like if I was going to do a coffee table book, I'd want it to be super, super good quality. But anyway, moving on from that, I want to encourage you to put all this stuff together, but also for these ones specifically, I kept it in pencil and I only really accentuated features of it with red. So you can build out a page with this. If you want to put one of these in the bottom corner of your journal and start adding your own bows, or add another stick with these berries on, or I don't know, just add another Swatch doll next to her. These are quite simple to draw. I think I've done tutorials online before. I know these ones, I believe they featured in Whimsical Illustration years and years and years ago, one of my first workshops. So they've definitely been around for a long time. I trust that most of you, know what you're doing when you get to your journaling and what you enjoy, but I would really encourage you to grab a pencil and kind of extend beyond what is here. I mean, she's got no legs, she's got no bottom half. She's pretty intact, but there are a couple of busts up here and a really tiny one. I think it'd be really great just to see what you add. Just kind of extend the scene. Have you seen that in AI now? Like you can put your photo on and you can just extend the background and it just guesses what it thinks should be there. I'm fascinated by that, but I'm more fascinated to see humans do it because sometimes the computer's choices are super weird and scary and it makes me think what the computer was thinking up like it's real. I don't know. If it is, I take back everything I said. It's probably listening to me right now. Anyway, AI ran over. This is the Swatch Dolls page. Love a Swatch doll. And I love a pencil drawing. I really do. And this, I really wanted to throw you all the way back, and I'll explain what this is in a second. This is an old Swatch doll piece. Probably one of like the only big full finished pieces I ever really did with a Swatch doll. And I love the deckled edge as well. This is when I was testing that Mungyo palette, I believe, years and years and years ago. When I got the palette direct from the manufacturer, I wanted to test out all the colors, if I'm remembering correctly. And I did these Swatch dolls, and these were one of the very first, like, very naive, basic versions of a Swatch doll. And they kind of morphed over the years to be a few different things, but I just always loved this. And I came across it the other day when I was cleaning out an old little art portfolio, and I thought, oh, I don't think I've ever shared that. So I wanted to share it, and I wanted to share it pretty big as well. So it's pretty big on the page, and hopefully that will be a nice for you to resize if you want to resize it to make it a little bit smaller, or if you want to use it bigger for whatever you might want to, or you can cut out pieces of it. And this is something super random, but it's very sentimental to me. There's a Christian Dior story about a star that he found, and that's a whole thing. And I have my own little star that I have. It was actually given to me, so I can't get in trouble for it, but it was a discontinued piece of a costume. That's all I'll say about that. And someone gifted it to me at the end of a show, and I absolutely love it, and it sits up on my shelf over there to remind me of really good dancing times. and it's just a little gold star. I've made a few different colors. This is the original, the gold. I made a bronze and a silver and kind of like a pinky rose gold color. And I just thought these would be really beautiful because they look so metallic, but you know, they're not actually metallic. They just kind of print and have a really good look of shine to them. And I wanted to give you a bunch of different colors, stars for Christmas, why not? But it's just very sentimental to me. So I wanted to include those as my own little version of the Christian Dior star story. And we've got everything for December, including those color in pages, or you can just use them black and white if you want. Love the blocks, can't wait to stack those. Excited to get all of my photo a day into my Christmas deco journal, and I will be with you again very soon for some more wonderful holiday time journaling with me. Thank you so much for being a part of Collage Club. Print everything, or no, download everything. Print what you think you're going to use, save the rest on your computer for when you want to use it in the future. You don't need to print absolutely everything, but if you do, I hope you have a good time using it all, and I'll see you again very soon. Until then, bye.